speaking with a pastor friend of mine, and he was lamenting about the difficulty he was having with his congregation regarding the replacement of their church pews with more contemporary seating. Their pews are showing signs of aging, and they need a pretty good amount of TLC. In light of everything going on with the pandemic, he sees chairs as being much more versatile as well as more contemporary. He was surprised at the level of opposition that he received for something that he viewed, quite frankly, as a no-brainer type of decision. Objections ranged from things like, "I just like to be able to spread out," to "Churches are supposed to have pews." But possibly the most popular statement was, "Well, we've always had pews." I've often heard it said that the most scathing commentary that can be given in a church is, "We've never done it that way before." This reminds me of another expression that an old-time pastor used to say: "The greatest hindrance to the next work God wants to accomplish is God's people holding on to the last work that He called them to accomplish." It is very easy to become attached to a specific type of ministry or a specific way of doing ministry, programming, and activities. There's something very comfortable with the familiar, but there's also a fine line between enjoying familiarity and settling into complacency. It's just much easier to do what we've always done than to invite change into our lives. Change brings newness and uncertainty. As followers of Christ, our message absolutely cannot change, but our methods absolutely must change. I find it fascinating to see all the different ways that Jesus healed blind people. Sometimes He touched them, sometimes He didn't. Sometimes He spoke to them, sometimes He prayed to His Father about them. One time He spit on the ground and made mud and put it on the man's eyes. One time, a man received his sight in stages rather than all at once. In Isaiah chapter 43, God takes some time to remind Israel of the great things He did for them. But then in verse 18, He says these words, "But forget all that. It is nothing compared to what I am going to do. For I am about to do something new. See, I have already begun. Do you not see it? I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create rivers in the dry wasteland." Do you think that sometimes we miss out on seeing what God is doing because we're busy focusing on what He did in the past? Will you join me in praying for God to do a new work in and through our church? Can I ask you to hold on loosely to specific ministries, programs, and activities so that when God chooses to do a new thing, we are ready to join Him? Pray for an open mind, a willing heart, and a new work from God. Thank you.